would you create something if you were not going to be the person who benefits out of it or directly? Would if you were to work your whole life and then you come to the understanding that what you work for so hard, it is not going to benefit you personally as one, it is not going to benefit your children directly too, because usually some people they'll say I'll leave it for my children or something like that. But let's say it will not benefit your direct children, but maybe your children's children can benefit from that. Would you still create that, but not understanding of what that space of your children's children is going to look like? I'm sure most of you are probably saying yes, I would create that. But at the same time, I think us as a society became too narrowed visioned. We don't look beyond that. We seem to see everything for 5-10 years goals. 5-10 years goals. There's nothing wrong with 5-10 years goals. It's really important. But at the same time, we need to understand longer term vision of things. Because 5-10 years goals is good for the bank. It looks very nice. The bank will be like, you know what, your idea is worth investing in. We can generate funds and leads to this and so forth and so forth. But we need to be more aware of not just 5 to 10 years. We need to be aware of 150 years. We need to be aware of 200 years. We need to be aware of 500 years. Because you're still living in things that were from that long in the past. It may not seem like it, but it changed a lot of your beliefs, your point of view, and your moral, your philosophy, a lot of things. So it's important that we look at life not just based on what we'll gain in the short and what we'll gain in the short and long term, but what will we also lose in the short and long term from what we create. Because you have to understand that whenever we create something, it goes in hand. You create something, it has an effect on something or it destroys something, and that is basically the way things in the world kind of work. But destruction doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. To destroy things, it is not a bad thing sometimes. It just depends on the language. Language is probably going to be a subject I'll cover somewhere down the road. It depends on the context people use, because as I mentioned, our beliefs has been changed from things that took place a long time ago. If you look back maybe 100 years ago, there were things that were okay to be done in the world, or even 50 years ago there was things that was okay to be done in the world. Maybe 5 years ago there were things that was okay to be done in the world, but maybe we did it in the spur of the moment and not thinking of the longer term effect. And even to think things in, this is probably going back on my own words, even to think things in the longer term effect. This was probably going to be a part of the subject with time. I don't know when was the last video that I did it, but there has to be a certain space that you want your idea to affect. And ideas, think may also need to be in a space where we become okay with ideas not existing past, because I don't know, when we create things, it feels like sometimes we want to create it for infinity, and that kind of make things uh, a little difficult. I think we'll end on that there. Uh, we'll still, I don't know what was the main topic that I was discussing, but I would love to hear what your views and perspective. I don't ask for you to agree with me nor disagree with me. It's me sharing nonetheless. It is my perspective. So thanks for your time. Till again.